Armstrong, and this is Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. To stay in the game, our contestants need to score as few points as possible. How do you score as few points as possible? Well, you need to come up with the most obscure answers you can muster. Every single question on Pointless has been asked to 100 people before the show. Can you plumb the depths of your knowledge to find those elusive answers that no one else can think of? So, for example, we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Charles Dickens novels as they could, and we found out that 63 of them said Oliver Twist, an obvious answer that would score you a horribly high 63 points. However, only 15 of them said The Old Curiosity Shop, a lesser-known novel that would score you a respectably low 15 points. Now, occasionally there are even some answers that none of our 100 people could name. So, for example, none of them said Our Mutual Friend, so that would have been a truly pointless Charles Dickens novel, and that would score you absolutely nothing. Brilliant. That's what you want. If any of you can find one of those, we will add £250 to today's jackpot. So let's meet today's players. Hugo and Jonathan, you are our first pair on the show. How do you two know each other?
We met at drama school. I was a geeky ex-insurance broker, and Hugo looked like someone off Bon Jovi, and we soon became friends. It's true.
Very good. Sandra and Sue, you are our second pair today. How do you two know each other?
Hi, we're sisters.
Sisters? I was going to say, so how long have you known each other? All our lives. Well, let's hope that sister bond will withstand the pressures you're going to be put under this afternoon. Hello, Mohammed and Rabina. Welcome to the show. How do you two know each other?
Well, we're mother and son, and we're here to have some fun today.
Excellent.
Well, I'm not here for fun, I'm here to win, and I think we will win.
I like that. A man who knows what he wants. And our fourth pair today, Brian and Philip. How do you two know each other?
Well, I picked up a local magazine of which Philip was the publisher, and I thought they could do with a good journalist, so I rang him up and he gave me the gig.
Wow. That's a job application, isn't it? Your magazine's rubbish. And finally, we've got Gail and Marita. Welcome to the show. How do you two know each other?
All right, well, we met about 10 years ago and we were introduced through Gail's sister-in-law. And basically from then we've just really got on quite well. Quite well.
I bet you're a pair to deal with. Wow. OK, well, there's one final person I need to introduce you to, and he is the keeper of all the pointless facts and figures. He is my pointless friend. It's Richard. How are you, Richard?
I'm very, very well, Alexander. As you say, I've got all the facts and figures from all the questions you're going to be asked today. I've got a list of all the pointless answers. Those, of course, are the holy grail of the show, things that no one in our 100 people has said at all. I've also got the worst answers you can possibly come up with. Those are the really, really popular, obvious ones. I think it's worth saying at this point, Alexander doesn't know any of the answers to any of the questions in the show, so he's
nothing.
I mean, he's a very bright fella.
Hey.
But there may be the occasional moment where even you are stumped.
Thank you very much, Richard. Well, it's the first show in the series, so our jackpot starts off at £1,000. Try and find some pointless answers along the way, as each of those will add £250 to that amount. OK, let's play Pointless. In the first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. You will score 1 point for every one of the 100 people that gave the same answer. And remember, this is pointless, so you're trying to find the least well-known answers and score the fewest points. If anyone gives me an incorrect answer, I'm afraid they will have to get the maximum score of 100 points, so do be careful. If you do give me an incorrect answer, this will happen. You really don't want to see that. At the end of the round, your combined score will be totalled up and the highest scoring pair will be eliminated. Only 2 pairs will make it through to our head-to-head semi-final, and so the pressure is really on. Our first category for this round is geography. Yay, geography! OK, well, I can see you're all thrilled with that. So can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first? OK. Right, whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. So we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many capital cities of Europe as they could. But Richard, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, what we're essentially looking for is the official capitals of any country that are wholly or partly in Europe, and these countries have to be recognised by the UN. There are, unbelievably, 49 of these, and as you can imagine, there's quite a few pointless answers in there. Those are the answers that none of our 100 people gave.
I think there are a lot of pointless European capitals there. OK, right, Hugo and Jonathan, before the show you all drew lots, and today it turns out you will be starting us off. OK, so, Hugo.
Podgorica.
Oh, it's got to be a pointless. I've never heard of it. Podgorica.
Yeah.
If it is incorrect, you will score the maximum of 100 points. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Podgorica. It's a correct answer. Oh, it's good. Look at that, first question of the show. That means that none of our 100 people said Podgorica, and it adds £250 to today's jackpot. Richard, Podgorica.
Well, what an amazing start. A pointless answer immediately. Yeah, Podgorica is the capital of Montenegro, which has only been a country, recognised country since June 2006, which I think is why nobody has heard of it, apart from Hugo.
Apart from Hugo. That's so impressive. That's very good. OK, our next pair, Sandra and Sue. Sandra, you are going first.
I'm going to take a stab in the dark and go for Bratislava.
Bratislava. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Bratislava. That's a correct answer. Oh, it's good. You scored 4. That means 4 of our 100 people said Bratislava. That's a very good low score. OK, Mohammed.
I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Is it Ljubljana?
Sounds good to me. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Ljubljana. That's a correct answer. Unbelievable.
I don't believe that.
One person in that 100 knew it, which is more than I did. You're that close. I was all ready to go pointless, but...
It's the capital of Slovenia, of course.
OK, Brian and Philip, we're looking for a capital city of Europe.
Tallinn.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Tallinn. Oh, it's good. Oh! 7. Oh, yes, that means 7 people out of our 100 said Tallinn. Tallinn, of course, the capital of Estonia.
Oh. Well done.
That, I have to say, that's a fantastically low score, but it's actually our highest score so far. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's a very, very low-scoring round. Gail and Marita, we're looking for a capital city of Europe. Gail, you're going to go first. What are you going to say?
Right, I'm going to go for, I don't even know if it's in Europe, San Marino.
Well, let's see how many of our 100 people said San Marino. It's good. Oh, it's another pointless! That means, of course, none of our 100 people said that, so it adds another £250 to today's jackpot. There it goes. Our total now is £1,500. OK, so we're halfway through the round. Let's see where we are on the scoreboard. Hugo and Jonathan on nothing. Don't forget, nothing in this show is everything. That's exactly what you want. You want to score as low as possible. Gail and Marita also on nothing. Very impressive. And then looking quite vulnerable there, Brian and Philip on 7. They've got to hope that they're not the highest scorers at the end of the round, otherwise they'll be leaving the show. So we're going to come back up the line, because the second players now take their places at the podium. So remember, we're looking for a capital city of Europe. OK, Marita, your turn. Now, Philip and Brian currently have the highest number of points with 7. If you score 6 or less, you're safe. Now, the line here, there it is, there it is, oh. That's your safety line. Anything below this and you are definitely in the next round.
Lisbon.
Lisbon. How many of our 100 people said Lisbon? That means that 40 of our 100 people said Lisbon. It's not a terrible score, but it does mean that you are now the highest scorers.
Yeah, Lisbon, of course, the capital of Portugal.
OK, Philip, we're looking for a capital city of Europe. What are you going to say?
Bern.
You're going to go with Bern. Now, Gail and Marita have the highest score with 40. Philip and Brian, your current total is 7. If you score less than 32, you're definitely in the next round. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Bern. You're safe? Oh, very good. Very good. Eleven of our 100 people said Bern. Well done. You're safe.
Bern, of course, the capital of Switzerland.
OK, Rabina. You need to score 38 points or less. Gail and Marita are the current high scorers on 40. So if you get 38 or less, you're definitely through to the next round.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be more.
Well,
Pretty sure.
let's see. Let's throw caution to the wind. Come on, Rabina.
Bulgaria?
Bulgaria.
I think I'm really confused myself.
Let's see. Bulgaria. How many of our 100 went for Bulgaria?
No.
Oh, dear.
I knew it.
Oh, dear. Unfortunately, that is a wrong answer, which means that you score the maximum of 100 points. That puts you at 101 points. Well, it's possible. If Sandra and Sue get 100 points, then you are safe. But we'll see. Sandra and Sue. Sue, it's your turn. Remember, we're looking for a capital city of Europe.
I'm going to take a risk here because
Take
it's
a
not one
risk.
I'm confident about, but I think because the scores are so low that I'm going to have to take a risk.
Well, you've got a safety margin of 96 points, so if you're not going to take a risk now, when
I'm
are
going to
you?
go for the Vatican City.
Vatican City. Oh, Vatican City. I like that. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Vatican City. Oh! That's a wrong answer, means you score the maximum of 100 points. Bad luck. So, Richard, Vatican City.
Yeah,
I thought that was a pointless.
It's incredibly unlucky. Vatican City is a sovereign state, but it's not a member of the United Nations. I'm so sorry.
That's really bad luck, Sue and Sandra. I'm afraid that means you are out of the game. Good news for you two, though, eh? Dear, oh dear. Well, Jonathan and Hugo. Jonathan, obviously you are safe.
We're through,
You are through,
yeah.
but why not see if you can get a pointless? I think you might get a
Okay,
pointless.
yeah.
You look like you're a man with a
I've got
pointless
one, okay, and you're going to think I need to get out a bit, but I'm going to try this. I'm going to go for Chisinau.
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 Which is, of course, in... well, let's see how many of our 100 people got Chisinau. That's fantastic. A double pointless. That means, of course, none of our 100 people said Chisinau. Just about remember how to say it. And that adds another £250 to today's jackpot, taking us up to £1,750. Congratulations, Chisinau.
Fantastic. It's the capital of Moldova.
It's Moldova. So that's the end of round one, and the losing pair with an appallingly high score are Sandra and Sue. That was such bad luck on Vatican City. I thought you'd scored another pointless there. Did you have any others, though, up your sleeve?
I had some more obvious answers, and perhaps it would have been better to go for that, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Perhaps Berlin.
Richard, what should they have said if they wanted to stay in the game?
Well, there were quite a few other pointless answers along with Podgorica, Chisinau and San Marino that we had. Sarajevo you could have had, the capital of Bosnia-Herzegovina. Chisinau we've already had. Baku is the capital of, anyone?
Azerbaijan?
Well done, Azerbaijan. How about that? And do you want to try and guess the top three?
Top three.
These are the most obvious answers. These are the things that no one should go for in 100 years.
London, Paris. What would the other one be, though? London, Paris, clearly.
Rome.
Rome, of course, Rome.
Rome is third. London is second, strangely. Paris is the top answer.
Yeah, interesting. OK, Sandra and Sue, remember, everyone gets 2 chances to reach our pointless final. So we'll see you again next time for your final chance, and hopefully you'll do better then. For the remaining 4 pairs, it's time for round 2. OK, guys, the round 2 category is pop music. Pop music. So, can you decide in your pairs who's going to go first and who's going to go second? OK, having decided, can whoever's going first please step up to the podium? So we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many ABBA top 40 singles as they could. Can you be any more specific than that, Richard?
It's fairly self-explanatory, to be honest. It's any ABBA single released in the UK that got in the top 40.
OK, so Hugo and Jonathan, you are going to go first. Hugo, you're answering first on behalf of the team.
I'm going to really hazard a guess, because I honestly don't know this. Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia. I have a feeling there was a film called something like that quite recently. But never mind. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Mamma Mia. Not bad. Wow. Well, 24. That means 24 of our 100 people said Mamma Mia. Rubina and Mohammed. Rubina.
He's a closet ABBA fan, because I really don't know ABBA music. He knew something. I think I'm getting all the wrong answers here. I'm going to go with Fernando.
Fernando.
Yeah.
Very good. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Fernando. 30. Well, that's not a bad score, but it's actually our highest score so far. Brian and Philip, remember, you are looking for ABBA top 40 hits. Brian, what are you going to go for?
How about I do, I do, I do, I do, I do?
Well, let's see how many of our 100 people said I do, I do, I do, I do, I do. That's a correct answer. That is exactly what you wanted there. A great score, lovely and low. Only 3 people out of our 100 said, I do, I do, I do, I do, I do. It did take them half an hour, but only 3 of them said it. So, Gail.
I'm going to go with Chiquitita.
You're going to go for Chiquitita. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Chiquitita. That's a correct answer. Oh, fantastic. It's another impressively low score. That means 5 of our 100 said Chiquitita. OK, we're halfway through round 2. Let's see where we are. Brian and Philip, you're doing incredibly well on a very low 3. But for Mohammed and Rubina, things aren't looking good. You've got the highest score with 30. If it stays that way, you could be leaving the show. You've got to try and get a pointless answer next time round. So we're going to come back up the line. Will the second players please take their places at the podium? So, Marita, it's your turn. We're looking for a top 40 ABBA single. And you have to score 24 points or less to be absolutely certain of staying in the game. There's your safety line.
Oh, no. Gimme, gimme, gimme.
Let's see how many of our 100 said gimme, gimme, gimme. It's looking quite good, hello. That's good. That's good. You're definitely through to the next round. So that means 10 of our 100 people said, gimme, gimme, gimme. Well done. Philip, your turn.
Knowing me, knowing you.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said, knowing me, knowing you. Oh, well, you're safe. You're safe. So that's 12, and your total is now 15. OK, Mohammed, we're looking for a top 40 ABBA single.
And this is where we're going to go out. Waterloo, but I think this is it. And
Waterloo.
100, probably.
Waterloo, well, you are the current high scorers, which means you are vulnerable, and Waterloo, I don't know, but I fear it could be your Waterloo. Anyway, let's see how many of our 100 people said Waterloo. That means that 45 of our 100 people said that. That takes your total up to 75, which means you are looking mighty vulnerable. Well, good luck. Let's see what Jonathan and Hugo can do. Jonathan, you need to score 50 or less to stay in the game. Remember, we are looking for ABBA top 40 hits. Jonathan?
One of Us.
One of Us.
One of Us.
Very
it's a
good.
Lovely song,
A
but I
good,
don't know if it was a
obscure
hit.
song. Well, let's see how many of our 100 people said One of Us. It's the right answer. Oh, you're safe. Might it be pointless? Oh, nearly! That's 2. That means you have a total of 26. So well done to you. At the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score are Mohammed and Rabina. Bad luck. That was tough. But then, Rabina, I thought you said Mohammed was a closet ABBA fan.
It was a joke. You should know about it. Aren't you a comedian?
I don't know. I think you just weren't prepared to step out of that closet. That's what I'm thinking, Mohammed. But Richard, what answers should they have gone for if they'd wanted to stay in?
Well, there are 3 pointless answers. So there's 3 ABBA singles that nobody at all mentioned, none of our 100. One was Head Over Heels from 1982. Anybody? Not a clue. There was Summer Night City, which was a top 10 single. I do recognise that was pointless. And Under Attack, that was a pointless one as well.
Well, thanks very much for that, Richard. OK, Mohammed and Rabina, we have to say goodbye to you for today, but we'll see you next time for your last chance. Hopefully you'll do better then. For the remaining 3 pairs, it's time for round 3. The category is games. So, who's going to go first and who's going to go second? OK, whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. So we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Cluedo suspects, weapons and rooms as they could. Richard, what does that mean?
Essentially, I know, it's a mystery, isn't it? It's essentially it's anything you see on a card in Cluedo. So there's 6 weapons, there's 6 suspects, and there's 9 rooms. The original game of Cluedo, anything on those cards. So there's 21 in all.
And remember, you need to score the fewest points. So you need to give the answer that the fewest of our 100 people said. Hugo and Jonathan. Hugo, you're going first.
OK, this is a complete guess, I'm afraid. But I'm going to say spanner.
OK, well, if you get it wrong, obviously, remember, you will score the maximum 100 points. Let's see how many of our people said spanner. That's a correct answer. It's good. That means only 15 of our 100 people said spanner. Brian and Philip. Brian, you're going first. What's it going to be? Really obscure
Yeah, hang on, a
weapon.
room's coming to mind.
What's a really obscure?
Oh, hang on.
I have to
I've
push you.
got something. I hope so. Rope.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said rope. 67, that's high. You see, in any other game show, that would be a fantastically high score. On this show, that's bad. On to Gail and Marita. Gail.
Right, I'm going to go for a suspect. I'm going to go for the Reverend Green.
The Reverend Green. The
Yeah.
Reverend Green. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said the Reverend Green. That's good. 29. That means 29 of our 100 people said the Reverend Green. OK, we're halfway through the round. Let's see where we are on the scoreboard. Well, with the lowest score, Hugo and Jonathan. You're looking pretty good. Brian and Philip, things aren't looking as good for you as you have got the highest score, 67. If it stays that way, you could be leaving the show. So we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, so Marita, it's your turn. We're looking for a suspect, weapon or room from the game of Cluedo. You need to score 37 or less to be safe. That line is 37.
Right. There's rooms in a house.
There usually are.
A study.
A study. That's a room. It's in a house. I think it's in the Cluedo house. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Well, you're safe. That takes your total up to 58, which means you are below Brian and Philip's total of 67. So we go to Brian and Philip. You've currently got the highest score, so you want to get as low a score as possible on this. We're looking for a suspect, weapon or room from the game of Cluedo. So what's it going to be, Philip?
I'm not a board game sort of person.
So it's looking good.
So it's going to be the Major.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said the Major. Unlucky. Unfortunately, that's a wrong answer, which means you do score that maximum 100 points. You have a total score of 167, which means you are out of the game. So, to Jonathan and Hugo. Jonathan, you're up. Obviously, you are definitely through to the next round.
Yeah.
But here's a chance for you to score a point.
Why not something like, and I don't know if this is in the game or not, but the piano wire.
The piano wire, if it's not in the game, it should be. It should be. The makers of the game are watching. Let's see how many of our 100 people said piano wire. Oh. Well, that was unfortunately a wrong answer, which means you do score the maximum 100 points, but it was a sporting answer. Could have scored you a pointless. You never know. So at the end of round 3, the losing pair with the highest score is Brian and Philip. Bad luck, guys. You did well, but not well enough. Do you think there was a person to blame there? Do you think one of you underperformed, or do you think you both shoulder the blame there?
Well, we both shoulder the blame, don't we?
No, I blame you.
Yeah, do.
That's all I wanted to hear. Good, but Richard, if they'd wanted to stay on, what answers should they have gone for?
Well, I think it goes to show that sometimes a category will come along that can just trip you up. If you don't know Cluedo, it's difficult. That's part of the game, isn't it? Obviously, there's 6 suspects, there's 6 weapons, and there's 9 rooms. The least memorable combination would be Mrs. Peacock in the lounge with the spanner.
And what are the most popular?
Well, the most popular ones, in 3rd place it was the library, and then it was the dagger. And any guesses on what was number 1? No. Brian said it. Rope.
Rope, I see, right. Well, very good. Well, thanks very much for that, Richard. OK, Brian and Philip, you've wasted one of your chances to go through to the pointless final. We have to say goodbye to you for today, but we'll see you next time for your last chance, when hopefully you'll do better. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Well done, you've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for today's jackpot, which currently stands at £1,750. OK, so here's how the head-to-head works. You are now allowed to confer, OK? Each team will take turns to give me an answer, and you'll each have an equal number of turns. The first team that accumulates more than 100 points, or the team that goes over 100 by the most, will lose. So as always, to stay in the game, you want to score as few points as possible by saying the answers that the fewest of our 100 people gave. Gail and Marita, you performed best over the first 3 rounds, so not only do you get to decide whether or not you go first, you also get to choose the topic. So your choice is between Kings and Queens or film series. What would you like?
Film series, please.
Film series. And would you like to go first or second?
First.
First.
First. You're going first, and it's film series. OK, let's play Pointless. So we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many James Bond films as they could. Richard?
We're looking for any of the 22 official James Bond films made by Eon Productions. So, for example, Never Say Never Again, the Sean Connery movie in 1983, which was obviously a remake, would not be a James Bond film. It's the 22 official films we're looking for.
And remember, you don't want to go over 100. You want to score as low as possible each time. So, Gail and Marita, it's your turn to go first. What do you think?
Just a second.
No, you can confer.
Oh, I don't. I'm going to leave it to your instinct.
Gail's instinct. What's it going to be?
My
Gail's
instinct. Okay. We're going to go with On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Let's see how many of our 100 people thought of that. That's good. OK, well done. Hugo and Jonathan, we're looking for a James Bond film. What are you going to go for?
No, let's do it.
Yeah?
Yeah. OK.
OK, Hugo and Jonathan, it's your first turn.
Yeah. Well, we're going to try You Only Live Twice.
You Only Live Twice?
Yes.
Let's see how many of our 100 came up with You Only Live Twice. That's a correct answer. Oh! Well, only 18 points. OK, Gail and Marita, you need to be careful now. Your next answer could take you over 100 points, and you risk leaving the game. Your next answer needs to be 84 or less to avoid going over 100. That red line is 84.
We'll go with Thunderball.
Let's see how many people went with Thunderball. Very good. That takes your total up to 33. I have to say your groupings, very good. 16, 18, 17. Sadly, you don't get points for that, but just thought I'd point it out. OK, Hugo and Jonathan, your second go. To remain under 100, you need to score less than 82. That red line, that's 82. So remember, we're looking for a James Bond film.
Yeah,
yes.
Got one. Got one for you, Alexander.
OK.
Diamonds Are Forever.
Let's see how many of our 100 went for Diamonds Are Forever. You're safe. Oh, it's looking good, it's looking good. Is it a pointless? Oh, it's not. That takes your total up to 31. Very good. Gail and Marita, they're creeping below you there. To avoid going over 100, you need to score 67 or less. We're looking for a James Bond film.
We're not too sure if it is a film or not,
But if it's just the name of a song.
But we're going to go for it anyway.
The Man with the Golden Gun.
Let's see how many of our 100 went for The Man with the Golden Gun. You're safe. $31, taking your total up to 64. Hugo and Jonathan, your third go. To be safe, you want to be getting 69 or less.
OK.
OK.
Yep, we got one.
All right, we're going to try From Russia with Love.
Let's see how many went for From Russia with Love. Phew. 25. takes your total up to 56. Gail and Marita, a little bit ahead as we go for your fourth answer. To be safe, you want to be getting 36 or under.
Moonraker.
Moonraker, Moonraker. Let's see how we did on that. 36, there's the red line you've got to get. It's like limbo, this, isn't it? You've got to get below that line. Let's see how many of our 100 went for Moonraker. Go! Ho, 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 ho. 45. That takes your total up to 109. Gail and Marita, you've gone over the 100 points, but Hugo and Jonathan haven't had their fourth answer yet, so it's not over yet. Hugo and Jonathan, to win the round and go through to the final, you need to score 52 or less. Hugo and Jonathan.
We're going to try For Your Eyes Only.
For Your Eyes Only. Let's see how many of our 100 went for that. Oh, you're through. Gail and Marita, you scored over 100 points, and Hugo and Jonathan, you are well below. So I'm afraid, Gail and Marita, it's time for you to go. Was that tough?
No, I really enjoyed it. We thought we were going in the first round as a bonus.
No, really, well, you were doing so well. I mean, you were ahead. You were ahead at the head-to-head.
It's more a guy's thing, that, isn't it?
Bond probably is. Well, great pleasure having you on. Richard, if they'd wanted to stay with us,
Yep.
what answers should they have given us?
Well, there were no pointless answers at all there. Everyone knew some James Bond films. The third most obscure was Licence to Kill. Second bottom was For Your Eyes Only, which Hugo and Jonathan got. And the only Bond film not to feature M. The character rather than the letter. And the most...
Good awning, Mr. Bond.
Scarra Anger. And the most pointless Bond film ever made is The World Is Not Enough.
OK, Gail and Marita, you've wasted one of your chances to go through to the pointless final. We have to say goodbye to you for today, but we'll see you next time for your last chance. But for Hugo and Jonathan, it's time for the pointless final. Congratulations, Hugo and Jonathan. You've made it to the end of Pointless. You've fought off all the competition and you've won our coveted Pointless trophy. Now you've got a chance to win our Pointless jackpot. So at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £1,750. The rules are very simple. To win the money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer that none of our 100 people could think of. First, you must choose a category from these three options. You can go for British Olympians, Canterbury Tales, or TV legends. Which one do you want?
OK.
Canterbury Tales, absolutely forget it. Absolutely.
Oh, I tell you what. Let's go for British Olympians.
Okay, that's very confident, John.
No, let's go for it.
OK, you're going to go for British Olympians.
British Olympians, yeah.
Let's find out what the question is. So we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many British Olympic gold medalists as they could. Richard, elaborate.
Yeah, a few specific things here. We're looking for British gold medalists since 1980 in athletics events. There are 15 of them.
OK, you now have 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that £1,750 is for one of those answers to be pointless. An answer that none of our 100 people said. Your 60 seconds start now.
Alan
Wells won the 100 metres.
I'm agreeing with you, but I don't know who you're talking about.
There's Fatima Whitbread. There's, let's think of...
Steve Backley.
Steve Backley, I don't think he won the gold. There was obviously Daley Thompson. There was Seb Coe, there was Steve Ovett, there was Steve Cram, there was Linford, there was...
30 seconds gone.
There was... what about the female 400-metre hurdler, Sally Gunnell?
What about steeplechase or something?
No, there was...
Christ.
OK, let's have a think. There was long jumpers, any long jumpers? Linda, no, he was before 80s. There was...
OK, 10 seconds. We'll need your 3 answers.
So
then I think Alan Wells is a possibility.
Yeah. Fatima Whitbread.
Fatima Whitbread and...
Oh, God.
let's go...
Or somebody...
OK, time up.
OK,
Which three answers are you going to give us?
we're going to give you Alan Wells.
Alan Wells,
Fatima Whitbread.
Fatima Whitbread.
And Sally Gunnell.
OK, so Alan Wells, Fatima Whitbread and Sally Gunnell. Remember, you're playing for a jackpot of £1,750. We're looking for gold medalists in athletics since 1980. OK, let's see how many people said Alan Wells. That's a correct answer. You've had 2 pointlesses. Let's hope this is another. Come on, come on.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Oh, down it goes. Oh, no! Oh, so 4 out of our 100 people thought of Alan Wells. Unfortunately, that is not a pointless answer. So you only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. Let's hope none of the 100 people thought of your next answer. We're looking for gold medalists in athletics since 1980. And this has to be a pointless answer. So for £1,750, let's see how many people got Fatima Whitbread. Oh, no.
Tessa, wasn't it? It was Tessa.
Tessa Sand. Yeah, Tessa Sand.
So, Richard, Fatima Whitbread.
Yeah, never won an Olympic gold. She won the World Championship, but lost out, as you say, to Tessa Sanderson in the Olympics.
Bad luck. Bad luck. You only have one final chance to win today's jackpot. Now, remember, we're looking for gold medalists in athletics since 1980. We've really got to hope that none of our 100 people thought of your final answer. It was Sally Gunnell. This is for £1,750. Let's see how many people thought of Sally Gunnell. OK. This has got to be a pointless. It's below 50. Oh! It's 13.
Not a bad effort, mate.
Not a bad effort. Oh well. Unfortunately, you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, so you didn't win today's jackpot of £1,750, which rolls over for our next show. However, you do get to take home our pointless trophy. That was a really tough category for you, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I still can't think of who it could be. Or whether it was a relay team, or I don't know.
Richard, what could they have gone for?
Yeah, there were 3 pointless answers, and I have to say, if you've got any of these at home, well done. Because, as you say, they were members of a relay team. They were all members of the 2004 4x100 metres relay team. You could have had Jason Gardner, you could have had Mark Lewis Francis, or you could have had Marlon Devonish.
That was really
Having
tough,
heard that,
wasn't it?
I feel actually OK.
Yeah, well, you did very well.
Yeah,
you did
you.
fantastically well.
Thank you.
Well, thanks very much. That's all we have time for, but we will be seeing some of our contestants back tomorrow. Thank you to Hugo and Jonathan for doing so fantastically well. Thank you to my pointless friend Richard. Join us next time on Pointless, where we put more obscure knowledge to the test. Goodbye.
And more games for Quiz Brains coming up with Weakest Link on BBC One now. Si and Dave, those hairy bikers, are back with a new series next year on BBC Two. Their food tour of Britain begins in Suffolk, and then Eggheads at 6, and on the plate tonight, £65,000.